Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary and I am so excited for you to be here with me today. If you want to see this full face, go ahead and check out my previous video using all CoverGirl products. Now, let's go ahead and wash this makeup off and put on a brand new face. Hello everybody, we are back and ready for our next brand new face. Our face is all cleaned and washed up here, and we are ready to jump into this next brand. I am excited as always, so let's just go ahead and get into the video here. Now, the brand that we have sitting in front of us today is J.Cat Beauty. I've never used a J.Cat Beauty product ever. I've seen other YouTubers talk about a couple of their products every now and then. So I'm very excited to try this new brand out for myself and see what we think about it. Now, we do have a full face. They have a full face of products. And as I was setting up here, I realized I don't have their mascara. I had it listed on my list here as, oh, I have it. And then when I set everything up, I can't seem to find it. I have a feeling I do have it somewhere. I may have accidentally just misplaced it in a different bag with another brand for some reason. But sadly at the moment I don't have it, so we aren't going to be using mascara today. However, the brand does have mascara, so hopefully if I do have it, I'll be able to test it out, and if I do end up enjoying the products, hopefully then if I don't have it, I can purchase it. Okay, so before we dive into the face here, let's go ahead and just pull up their website here. So when pulling up their site here, the biggest thing that stands out here, so they were founded in 2013, and then they have it listed out here like J.Cat, J-C-A-T, and then it says just, cruelty-free, affordable, trendy. So I think that's the biggest thing. So cruelty-free, always amazing. Affordable, we love to see that, and that actually reminds me. And trendy, I think, is really cool too. So this brand is actually under $100. We get to add it into our $100 and under playlist and category. So that is super exciting. I love finding affordable brands, so hoping for some good stuff here. So affordable, yes, that is very exciting. But continuing on here, it says, righteous, honest, creating high quality without the animal testing, care about humans and our animal friends. 100% in, never testing on animals for any of its products. Great pricing without compromising the quality. Always on trend. Top global beauty influencers are loyal to it and love the products. So it sounds like people, including influencers, just really love these products. I love seeing stuff like that. Very excited to try this brand out for the first time. So let's get started on the face and do our eyes as we usually do. And we are going to start with the concealer. So the concealer that I have is their J.Cat STAYSURANCE. It is a water-sealed zero-smudge concealer. I picked up two of their shades, Cream and Shell. Shell is a little bit lighter. I think both of them would end up working out just fine, honestly. Let's just go ahead and just do the lightest one. Typically, that's what I'll go for. So let's open this guy up here. All right, and it's got a fairly large applicator, not as big as some of them that we've seen. And it looks like it holds on to a nice amount of product when you first pull it out there, so that's very nice. No particular smell or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and dot this on the eyes. Okay, it looks like it's gonna have quite the coverage. And then I'm going to use a Dianpnd Kokie blender today, and we will go ahead and blend that out. Okay, that concealer is applied. Definitely has a lot of coverage. You can definitely see here my eyes are very bright, very white. We use the lightest shade here, so that might look a little goofy here so far. Hopefully we'll be able to make that look a little bit more normal as we keep rolling on the face here. Has a slight tackiness to it. So far, it doesn't seem to be creasing. Something about the way it feels though, I have a feeling it might crease a little bit, but we can't know until we keep going on with the face here. That is that so far. Let's go ahead and set the concealer down and grab our eyeshadow. And the eyeshadow palette I got was their Dia&Noche Tri-Element 15 Shadow Palette. I think it's like day and night. Opening it up here. Here is what it looks like. I love the packaging of it, the plastic packaging. I like that a lot. And I'm really loving what's going on with the colors here. The entire top row here is all matte. We've got this really punchy blue, and we've got these really fun orange and green. They're kind of like a muted orange and muted green. So hopefully I'll be able to use some color there between those. And then we've got just quite the arrangement of shimmer metallic shades on the bottom 2 rows here. That teal color looks beautiful. Really liking how that is looking here so far. So let's go ahead and figure out what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and grab our M433 brush. We're gonna first dip into this shade here, top center, which they do have shades on the back here. I believe that one is called Nap Time. So we will dip in there with our M433 brush and start applying this in our crease. Okay, there is that first shade. Definitely has very good pigment to it. I noticed that it's dusty in the pan. When you tap it, a good amount of the product does come off. So I did find that it worked a little bit better if I either very gently tapped or just like lightly went in and then went to the eye right away. That's definitely where you wouldn't end up just tapping all of your product off. So loving that shade here so far. I'm liking that base and that shape. And then what I want to go into here next is this green shade right here. I think that would be really fun. And we're gonna kind of focus that still slightly in the crease here, but more focusing it on the outer third here to get a nice fun green color going on. So I think I'm just gonna use the same brush here for now. Dip into that green shade, which I believe is called Work Hard. Dip it in there, tap off very lightly, and apply this shade. Okay, there is the green. Hopefully the camera picks it up here. That is such a fun color. Oh, I really like that color, and I really like the way it blended in with that brown. So I think the direction I want to go is this like green and copper kind of thing. So I would definitely want to use this shade on the eye, but I think I'm going to lay this orange as a base first and then put that shade over top. So I think, being that this is going to be on this part of the eye here, I'm going to go in with my finger for this shade. So dipping into this orange shade, I believe is called SOL, and applying that essentially on the rest of the eyelid here. Okay. Ooh, oh, I love this. This is so cool. I love those colors. Wow, this is really pretty. Next, doing a similar thing, just wiping my fingers off here real quick. Going to take my finger and dip into this shade right there. And I believe this one is called OMW! Exclamation point. Oh my wow. Oh my, I don't know. I don't know what the W means. I don't even know if the OM means oh my. OMW. Let's go ahead and dip our finger in on that shade now and apply that over top of the orange, and then we'll try to like softly blend it into the green. Okay, and that came together extremely fast, but those 4 colors that I put on my eyes here, I love. Wow. I don't know how much more use for this video I'm gonna get with all the other colors, but I'm so happy that I went with that combination for the video. I don't know if you guys like the look, but so far, I don't know why I'm so happy with these colors on my eyes so far. So very exciting. Let's go ahead and grab the next product here, which is gonna be the eyeliner. And for the eyeliner, we have the J.Cat Rock and Glitz liner. When we open it up here, it is a pen liner. It looks like it is I think it is a brush tip applicator. So stroking it on the hand here. It applies very liquidy, kind of glossy, And it does dry down fairly fast. It doesn't seem to be like a super pure black. It looks a little bit lighter. Let's go ahead and line the eyes. There is the eyeliner applied. That applied fairly quick. I liked it. I'm not too familiar with a more brush applicator, but I do really like how it is looking here on the eyes. I decided not to attempt to wing it out here. I think after we do a little bit more of the face, I might take the brown shadow and create a more shadow liner and maybe even slightly go over the liner here a little bit to tie back in more of the brown. But yeah, I think the eyeliner laid down really nice. It's definitely nice and matte. So I do like that so far. I wish we had a mascara. I wish we had the mascara because I do have one to finish up the upper lashes, but that's okay. I'm still really happy with how the eyes are looking here so far. So let's go ahead and keep going with the face. We are going to do the primer. And for primer, we have their, it is their mattifying face primer. And it says it mattifies and preps the skin, instantly minimizes pores, sweet and fine lines. It is lightweight, non-greasy, and it does not clog pores. Good stuff there. Let's go ahead and open it up. I'm gonna give it a quick shake. It says it's oil-free, but in case anything is separating in there, let's go ahead and squeeze a little bit on our hand. Ooh, it's very clear. It's a clear one. Okay, definitely kind of thick feeling, but it does have a touch of that slippy kind of silicone texture. Not my favorite feeling in a primer. I don't like that slip. It doesn't on the back of my hand here come off as super mattifying. It looks that it just kind of leaves like a healthy kind of sheen on my hand here. But let's just go ahead and put a little bit on the face here and we'll see what we think. So the first thing that I think I'm noticing about it, maybe I just wasn't realizing this before, I feel like when I first applied it, it made my face really red, which I know sometimes when you're just rubbing stuff on your face turns a little red for a moment there, but I don't know. I just felt like I noticed it a little bit more than usual and it kind of threw me off. Like I went like this and swiped on my forehead and it kind of turned red for a moment. You can still definitely see it's red around my nose. Maybe it was like that from the beginning of the video from washing our face prior to the video. Doesn't feel like anything. I'm not too worried about it. Just if it is the primer doing that, I do want to point it out. But the primer is applied. I do like how it's sitting here. I definitely see a little bit of pore minimizing, I think, from it. It does have a touch still of that slippy feel, but it is going away, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and we're not gonna hop into foundation yet because our foundation is a powder foundation. So we are going to grab our concealer here again first. So let's just go ahead and grab that same shade, which was Shell, and quickly conceal under the eyes and just kind of hit some spots that we need a little bit more coverage on. Now the Shell concealer is probably definitely a little too light for some spot concealing. I just don't want to open the other one here yet in case I decide not to hold on to it. It's just better to pass it along if it's not even been like opened or anything like that. So I'm gonna stick to one here and let's blend this out with our Koki blender. All right, the concealer is applied. It's definitely a very light concealer, so things probably look very bright right now, but hopefully our foundation will be able to, you know, bring things back here a little bit. The foundation is a powder foundation. It is their Aquasurance Compact Foundation, and I picked up 2 shades. I got their Ivory and Porcelain. I think I'm gonna go with the Ivory on this instance. So opening it up here, here's what it looks like. It comes with a mirror. I'm not gonna peel that off at the moment. And then here's the product. And it looks like, yep, there is a sponge provided underneath. Should we use the sponge? I think we'll try using the sponge here. If it doesn't work out, then we'll either go in with our blender or go in with a brush. So let's go ahead and dip on in and apply this on the face. All right, I believe we have the foundation fully applied. I don't use a lot of powder foundations, but something that I'm definitely noticing right away is just the way I can definitely see a lot of texture on my face here still. I don't feel very pore filled, and that could be coming from the primer. But then also I'm seeing a lot of emphasis from some bumps on my face. So I don't love that so far. It does have good coverage, like it's not just like wiping nothing on your face. It definitely does provide coverage to the face. I just don't think I'm really liking the finish or the textures that are showing through here on the face. So yeah, applied really quick. The blender thing here, or the sponge honestly worked really, really well. Let's go ahead and we do have a setting powder, which I don't know if you typically use a setting powder for a powder foundation, but they do have a setting powder. So let's go ahead and use that next. It is their Luxe Pro Pearl Luminizer, unless this is what they have for the highlighter. No, because we have something else for the highlighter. Yeah, it's a luminizing powder. We're gonna use it as a setting powder on the face. Hopefully that's how it's intended. Here's what it looks like. It's one of these, not my favorite shaped containers. Definitely a very tiny lid. Not a lot of product fits in there. These packages don't hold up very well. They're very messy, but we will go ahead and use it. We'll see what we think. And I think what I'm gonna do, because the lid is definitely too small. In previous videos, I've reached back and I find a larger lid and stuff. I think I'm gonna try and just like dump it on the back of my hand, just a little bit, and work off the back of my hand. And I wanna take a fluffy, fluffy brush for this, hopefully to disperse the product a little bit better and not have it be too shiny. It looks like it's gonna be extremely shiny. So I'm gonna dump some of this on the back of my hand just a little bit. Take a ColourPop F18 brush, get in there, tap off the excess, and try to go very light on the face here. Oh boy. Okay. I'm not doing any more than that. I don't think that's how it's intended to be used. And try to come in close so you guys can hopefully see it is super shiny. I'm going to take my sponge and see if I can try and pull a bunch of that back. I don't love the product, but I also don't hate it. I think it is more just intended to be like a loose highlighter powder. It's not, I don't think it's meant to be like an over the face, all over the face type situation, because when it was on the back of my hand, it's very pearly, it's very pretty. I think just used in specific areas on the face, I think this could look really, really pretty, but I definitely used it incorrectly. So just gonna try and settle that down a little bit. And next we will, let's go ahead and do the brows next. My lights turned purple. Let's go ahead and fix the lights here real quick. So next, let's go ahead and do the brows. For the brows, we have the Micro Slim Brow Pencil. It is their Pro-Cision pencil. And when you open it up here, it is again a skinny pencil here. The product is a fairly slim product, a little bit larger than some micro products that I've seen before, but still, we do also have a spoolie on the back, which is always amazing. So let's go ahead and comb our brow hairs up here and apply. So I went and filled these fairly quick. I definitely like the micro pencil. I think the shade is a pretty good shade, similar to my last video, if you've watched that one. I think the shade kind of does a similar thing where it kind of pulls, it looks a little more red on camera here. So I'll have to keep an eye on it here and figure out if I do like the shade. So far, I think it's a good shade match, but it might be pulling just a touch red. Yeah, I feel like that applied very well. Very nice. So we don't have a brow gel or anything like that, so that will be the brows complete. Let's go ahead and quickly finish up the lower lash. I don't want to do anything too intense because we don't have mascara or anything like that, but let's grab that palette again, and I'm going to take the ColourPop E3 brush, and we're going to dip back into that brown shade here called Nap Time, and just run this along majority of the lower lash line, stopping right before like the inner third. And then I said what I wanted to do is kind of create more of a smokier or a shadow wing. So using that same brush, just gonna pull the product up a little bit. I'm not too worried about it being sharp or anything. And then I'm going to bring that into the eyeliner a little bit. Okay, and then what I want to do, I'm just going to quickly kind of wipe wipe the brush off over here. I'm going to take, I haven't decided fully if I want to take this shade or this shade for our like inner corner area. I think we're gonna take this one here, and I believe this one is called, ooh, Morning Glory. Yummy. Take Morning Glory, dip in there, just gonna use the same brush and apply this in the inner corner and kind of that lower third area. Okay, and it's looking like this shade is a little bit more like glitter toppery versus like shimmer metallic, so it's not quite as pigmented as I thought it was gonna be for like the inner corner here. Mostly just putting glitter there, but it's still really pretty, so we'll probably end up revisiting that area a little bit when we pull out our highlighter, but there are the eyes complete. I love them. So far, they're probably my favorite thing for this look. So happy with that so far. So let's go ahead and set that down. Next, we will grab the bronzer. So for bronzer and for highlighter, we do have a palette here. This is their Symphony Face Obsession, and I have their SFO 101 Highlight Contour Bronzer Palette 1 for medium to light. So when we open it here, here is what it looks like. Ooh, so it looks like we've got some more mattifying powders here, which we might use to try and pull back that shimmer situation we had. Then we've got a matte bronzer and a more golden kind of bronzer situation going here. And then 2 highlighters. And what I like is that they have all of these like tips and suggestions on the side here. I don't know how closely I'll pay attention to those, but definitely if somebody's curious and not too sure on where or how to apply their contours and bronzers and things like that, I think something like this could definitely be really helpful. So that's really, really cool. So let's go ahead first, before we go into bronzer, I'm going to grab, this is a Sonia brush, and I'm gonna dip into this shade right here, and it is called Face Powder 1. And I'm gonna try and kind of hit a couple zones here and see if I can take away our luminizing powder mistake here. So I'm gonna dip in there, apply. Yeah, I don't think that really did anything. It may have minimally helped, but not enough, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and grab Laurice LR375 flat powder brush here, and we are gonna dip into this shade right here, which is their contour shade. And I don't think I'm gonna use this very goldy, bronzy shade here. That just seems a little too shimmery for me, but we are gonna primarily just use this contouring shade as our overall bronzer. So let's go ahead and dip in there. And then I'm gonna quickly just tap it on the back of my wrist here just to make sure it's not too intense. And let's apply this. There is that applied. Yeah, I really like that shade. They consider it to be their contour shade. I do think it's a little warm, not quite cool toned enough for me to consider a contour shade, but I do really like it as a bronzing shade. I think that looks really nice here on the face, so that is exciting. We're gonna go ahead, yeah, we'll do highlighter and then we'll do blush. Let's go ahead and hop into highlighter. So I think we'll at least start with this shade over here. This is highlighter number 2, which is a little bit more of a lighter, kind of maybe champagne color. And then they have a more pinky one over here. So we're gonna start with this one. Maybe if we wanna add a little bit pinkiness, we'll go into that one as well. But let's go ahead and grab our Sigma Cheekbone Highlighter brush. This is the F03. We will dip into here and apply this on the high points, which honestly, we probably don't need a lot of highlighter because our face is already really shiny from that luminizing powder. But we're doing this anyways. Highlighter is applied. I tried to go somewhat cautious with it, but I do really like this one. It has a nice like pearliness. It kind of almost gives like, you can see it on the tip of the nose here, like a dewy kind of wet highlighter. And I think that looks really pretty, just like the shine that it gives. So that is very nice. Let's go ahead and close this up and grab our blush. And for blush, we have the Love Struck, they say Blusher Plus Bronzer. Okay. And The one that I have is in the shade 101 Sweet Pink. So here is what it looks like, and when we open it, it is a more matte bronzer here on the outside, but then they have this cute little cat in the middle, and he is a very shimmery kitty cat. I might try to avoid some of that. I don't know if I want that shine on the face, but let's go ahead and grab a brush and apply this. Let's go ahead and just use a e.l.f. angled blush brush, and we're gonna hit the shimmer anyways, but I'm gonna dip off on the side here. Oh, that is just a topper. All right, let's actually, I'm gonna take this brush, we're not gonna use it, I'm gonna wipe all of that off. Wow, no more shimmer on the cat. That all went away. I'm not gonna use this one, I'm gonna set that down. I have another angled blush brush, e.l.f. angled blush brush. So grabbing a new clean one that's not covered in glitter, gonna dip in and apply this to our cheeks. Blush is applied. Hopefully you can see it. Honestly, I don't think it has a whole lot of pigment, even though we swept off all that shimmerness that was on the cat. It really just is a luminizy blush, not a whole lot of pigment to it though. So I think it looks sort of pretty here on the face, but not my favorite, but that's okay. So let's go ahead, close that. We are on to the lips. So I picked up 2 lip liners and 2 lip products. So for lip liners, I picked up the Pro Define lip liner, and this one here is in their shade 225 Champagne. It is more of a like deeper, more brown liner. And then I also got the shade 229 Pink Beige. And honestly, this one looks more like a purpley liner. I don't think we're gonna use the purple one. Depending on how the consistency of this other one here is, hopefully we'll be able to hang on to it because I don't have anything like this in my collection. But we're not gonna use that one today. We are gonna use the champagne one. So let's open this guy up. It is a pencil that you would need to go in with a sharpener with. Very creamy, and I had noticed before opening it here, the base part here looked kind of metallic-y. And definitely when you apply it, it is more of a metallic liner, which is very interesting. So let's just go ahead and apply this on the lips. All right, that liner is applied. I like the deep dark brown color, but not gonna lie, I don't like the metallic in it. It's throwing me off. I don't think I've had a metallic liner before. It just looks a little odd, I think, on the lips. But maybe it'll work really well with the lip product, but there is the liner here so far. It feels fine on the lips. It dries down fairly nicely. It's not tacky or anything like that. It applied nice and comfortably, wasn't scratchy or anything. So that's all very good. For the lips though, other lip products, I got the LIPFINITY matte lips. They say that they are kiss proof, and I got their shade 101 Champagne Buzz, and also 132 Cash Money. Ooh. And at first I was like, oh, we'll just go with the champagne one. That seems like it'd be good. But I think I actually want to go with the Cash Money one. It's a little deeper, and I think it'll tie with this orange on our eyes here a little bit better. So let's open that one up. All right, and it's got a slim doe foot applicator on it. Has a pretty strong smell. Nothing specific, just like a not necessarily an enjoyable smell. So that's there. Let's go ahead and apply this on the lips. All right, and there is that lip product applied. It is very matte, and it did a great job of covering up the shimmer from the lip product, or from the lip liner, so I do like that. It's a little sticky, but not uncomfortable or anything. The smell is not great. It doesn't really have a taste or anything like that. I do think I like the matte look, but I think I think I'd maybe want a little bit of a gloss with this one, but I like this color. I'm really liking this color here so far, so that's really nice. Probably not my favorite formula for a lip product, but I do think it looks really pretty, so that's really nice. Let's go ahead and finish things off. We're gonna go ahead and grab the setting spray. So the setting spray is called the J.Cat Matte Makeup Setting Spray Infused Wildflowers. Okay. Here's what the packaging looks like. It's got a bunch of cute little flowers all over it. Doesn't say anything specific really about the product on the bottle. So let's go ahead and give this a mister test. The mister seems a little heavy. It's not too aggressive. It might leave a couple little droplets on the face here. It is matte, it says. It has a kind of a clean, slightly floral scent. I don't mind the smell. Sometimes these can be a little bit, sometimes scents and things can be a little too much, but I think in this instance, it's definitely not overdoing it, I think. So let's go ahead and set the face. And it definitely left some droplets here. So let's go ahead and grab our fan and our blender. We're gonna first dot away some of those droplets, and then we'll start drying it down. And I believe that is all the products. So this is the full face. Let me know what you guys think down below. Overall, I do really like it. Again, I wish we would have had that mascara. I'm really loving the eyes here. We had a couple struggles with the face, but overall, I think we did get to something that looks fairly decent, which is very, very nice. So again, that's the full face. Let's go ahead and get set up here and start talking about the products individually. Alrighty, we are all set up here to talk about the products individually. Again, this is the full face. Overall, I'm really happy with how the look came together, looking in my mirror here and also looking up at camera. I do really like how everything is looking on the face here. However, looking at the products, there are definitely some I just don't think are ones that perform quite the way that I would like them to. So very beautiful, loving the face, but some of these products might just not be for me, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at our overall price here. And I did mention at the beginning of the video that this brand is below $100. It is in our $100 and below category. Even if we had the mascara, we would be in that category, which is really, really exciting. So without the mascara, this brand full face cost is $88.88. I think that is phenomenal for having essentially a full face here. As we've been doing these videos, I definitely love our under $100 ones. I think just finding great products in that price range is so amazing. And even still, when we have ones that are a little bit over $100, loving those products as well. But it's so fun to come back to a couple of these and just see that there are really great products that you can get a full face for under $100. I love it. I think that's fantastic. So really loving that price point. Let's go ahead and start talking about the products here individually. So we went ahead and we started off with the concealer, and I'm going to say yes to this. I definitely think the porcelain one is maybe a touch too light. Typically, I always go for the lightest one. I do think that one is just a little too light. So I am glad that I also picked up, oh wait, this is Shell, not porcelain. The other shade that I picked up was Cream. It is a little bit, I think it's the next shade up. I think that might be a little bit of a better concealer match for me. But using that one on the face here, I think it did a really good job of setting a base down for the eyes. I'm not really seeing much or any creasing really. I am looking a little dry under the eyes, but I think that is because we set the concealer down first before foundation and then packed powder foundation over top, and then that illuminizing powder, and then tried to correct it with another powder, and then also still put a little bit of highlighter on. So I think there's just a lot going on under there, but still Even with all of that, I do really like how the concealer performed, so the concealer is definitely a yes. All right, and next we hopped into the eyeshadow palette, this guy right here. Oh my goodness, is this a yes. Even if I only ever use those 4 shadows that we used today, 4 or 5 shadow products that we used today, I love how this look turned out. I love the pigment and just the blendability of the shadows. Yes, I am excited to try doing a couple other looks with this palette. I like the layout of it with the different mattes on top and then it goes into your shimmers. I think that's really pretty. Yeah, really, really happy with it, and hopefully I can see myself creating this look again multiple times, but hopefully I'll end up getting more use out of the other shadows in here as well. So yes to this guy. And then we went on to the liner. I feel like I kind of jumped past this one really quick. I don't quite remember what I thought. I do really like how it's looking here on the eyes. For this one, I'm gonna say yes for now. I do think I need to test it out with a couple of my other liners and see kind of where it fits. Being that I didn't do anything too precise or attempt any winged liners or anything like that. Definitely curious to see how well it would work for something like that. But overall, I think it did apply fairly quickly. And I do like how matte it is sitting here on the eyes. I am going to say yes for now to the eyeliner. And then we went on to the face and we did the primer, the mattifying primer. I think I'm gonna say no to this guy. Claims to be mattifying and pore filling. When applying the foundation over top of it, I definitely didn't feel very pore filled. I definitely saw a lot of texture coming through. Also, this lid, man, is not staying on very well. I didn't feel very primed and smooth or anything like that. So I don't think I would grab for this primer very often. So I am gonna say no. And then we went ahead and we applied the foundation, the Aquasurance foundation, powder foundation. I think I'm also going to say no to this as well. I'm not one who typically uses a lot of powder foundations. It definitely did have coverage. However, I just didn't like the texture that showed through on my face. I think there are other powder foundations out there that perform a little bit better than this one. So I am going to pass on the foundation. Did we do brows? I think we did brows next. So we had the Pro-Cision Micro Slim Brow Pencil. And this guy, I am gonna say yes to. I really do like how the brows are looking. Even though we didn't really set them down or anything, they don't seem to like, the color is staying in place. The hairs could be gelled and put in place better, but pencil wise, I do really like the color and I like how it applied here on the brows. So that is going to be a yes. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot the other powder, the luminizing powder. For the way that I used it today, no. I'm pretty confident that I used it incorrectly. I am very slightly curious to try using it just as a highlighter, a loose highlighter, and just taking a small brush in there and just applying it to the high points and see how it works that way. And hopefully I'd end up enjoying it more. So I'm gonna say yes for now to this guy. Again, I don't like these packages and the smaller lid. They're just really, really messy. And even before opening this, even though it was sealed and wrapped in plastic and everything like that, there was powder all over it. So I'm worried about even it going in my drawers if it's not gonna stay sealed very well, but that's okay. So yes, for now, I do wanna try it being more specific as a highlighter and hopefully I'll enjoy it more that way. Then we went into the bronzing and highlighting palette here, this guy. And I am gonna say yes. Now, looking at the palette, I really don't think I'll get much use out of the top powder shades up here. What are they called? Face powder. I don't really know how often I'll reach for those guys. But I definitely do see myself using this bronzer here. Not really this guy unless I decide to try to use it on the eyes as like an eyeshadow. That might be really pretty. And then definitely see myself using this highlighter here and hopefully also using this highlighter as well. So these two products that we used today for sure, yes, I loved them. And hopefully we'll end up using this, but these other three, maybe not so much, but I am gonna say yes. And then we applied the blush, and this guy I'm gonna say no to. Definitely way too powdery, even barely tapping your brush in there, even after we cleaned off all the crazy cat shimmer on it. Very powdery, very messy, which is not something I typically see in blushes. I don't usually mind it for like an eyeshadow, but it was so loose and so messy in this situation. And then even for that, like it looked like there'd be a lot on your brush. And then when you went to the face, it really more just was shine over pigment. So definitely not pigmented enough for something that I typically enjoy. So I am gonna say no to the blush. And then next we moved on to lips. So we used the lip liners. Now I'm just gonna quickly just pull open off the lid on the other one here just to see if this one is also metallic. I don't think it is. So I'll have to see if I like this more purpley color. However, for the one that we used today, the brown champagne, I'm gonna say no. I did not like the shimmer on it. Other than that, it was creamy. It felt really nice applying to lips, but just the metallicness of it is definitely not something that I enjoy. So I am gonna say no to this. And then we did the matte lips over top, the LIPFINITYs, and I am going to say yes to both of them, just from the one that we used today. I really like that orange color, and I like the pigment that it has. I don't love the consistency of how it is on my lips here. I don't think I would leave it as a matte lip. I would probably put a gloss over top of it just because I don't really love how it feels on the lips here. But I do love the color and I love the pigment to it. So I am gonna say yes to this guy. And lastly, we set the face down with the setting spray. I'm gonna say yes for now to this guy. I enjoyed the scent. It was very minimal and it definitely went away. It is matte, and honestly, I noticed that whole illuminizing mistake thing that we did earlier. I don't know if it was from this or if it just kind of fell off over time. Definitely looking way less illuminizy, and I wonder if maybe it's from this matte setting spray. I don't know, so I'm curious to try this out and use it a little bit longer to see how mattifying it is, and of course how long wearing it is. So based off first impressions, I definitely did enjoy it, so we are gonna say yes to this guy. That is all of the products. I was thinking that maybe I'd end up getting rid of more things than I thought. I mean, we are still getting rid of the foundation, the blush, the primer, the lip liner, and I thought I was getting rid of this guy, but I am gonna hold on to him for a little bit longer. We do still have a lot of products that I actually am going to hang on to, which is really, really great. Very happy to have these products in my collection here, and again, loving the price point. If these products are amazing, the fact that they're affordable, and if I do use them up, I will feel okay with repurchasing them, so that's fantastic. And that is going to be everything for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. And if you guys want to be notified of the next time that I post, feel free to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified. And if there are any J.Cat products that you did not see me put to the test, like the mascara, or if you'd like to see a full wear test of any of these products, feel free to leave that in the comments down below, and I would love to try and make a future video for you. Lastly, if there are any brand recommendations that you have, leave that in the comments down below as well, and I would love to add it to the list of so many brands and make a future video for you. That's going to be everything. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye!